Beat the sun to work this morning. Just starting to peek over the horizon. It's not that hard to beat the sun in the morning, being December and all. So I'm just looking at the forecast and I'm seeing some real mild weather come through. We're looking at daytime temperatures, 5s, and there's a 9 up ahead of us, which is getting pretty warm. It's just we can't kick this wind, so even if I had the bees outside, they wouldn't be flying in that anyways. It's just so damn windy this year. But my girls inside are going to get a little bit active because of that. My fans have been going pretty much, both of them, steady for the last probably 10 days. Yeah, we have both of them going right now. So that's telling me the temperature is above 5 degrees in there right now. Not sure how cold it got last night, but just noticed well, there's one fan shut off. So it must be around that 4 to 5 temperature in the shed. We were flooding the pond last night and it's terrible weather to make ice, but it still froze. I just noticed the ice has set up, but we're having trouble with making slush. So we just had to keep at it and keep smoothing it down. One thing about not having any snow is we don't have to shovel it. Just we need the cold to be able to melt or freeze the ice. But I'm looking at the forecast and looking at a warming shed, and I'm walking the aisles and I'm not sure what to think. I guess we'll be able to tell what's going to go on once the weather hits and see how warm that shed gets. But it was up 5-6 degrees in the shed yesterday, and the bees, you know, they're nice and calm, no activity, very little drop on the floor. This time of year the heated shed isn't as bad as trying to hold these bees in a warm shed late March. So they will just endure it. But what I'll do is I'll sweep the shed floor, and then I'll be able to monitor the drop through this warm weather if there is any trouble whatsoever, and just take it as it goes. Not a damn thing we can do about the warm weather other than investing into a refrigeration unit, which I'm not going to. But the nighttime, you know, you get daytime highs, which get a little bit high, get that shed temperature up. The kicker is nighttime lows. If you get up to 10 degrees, so that shed's going to increase in temperature. But if you get a nighttime low of -5 or 10 degrees, you can cool that shed down instantly, and that sucks those bees back into the box, and you don't have as much trouble. The real trouble comes when you have mild weather come through, get, you know, a 9 or a 10 or a 15, and the nighttime low is 5 degrees or something. You can't suck that temperature in the shed down, so it leaves those bees super active in the shed for an extended period of time. So if they go through like a 9 degrees and that shed temperature get up to 12 or something, and they get a little bit active, it's not going to matter a whole lot, because I'm looking at the nighttime lows of -5s, -11s, some stuff like that. So even if I have to, I can, after dusk, because we have such long nights now, dusk comes around 5, so I should be able to open the door, move that air out, cool that shed down, suck those bees back into the box, and then get on to the next day. So that's anyways a little bit of thought behind wintering in a shed through milder weather as it comes through. But don't be fooled, because this is Manitoba, and we will get terrible weather come down the pipe. So I'm glad they're inside all the same. 2 degrees outside. The shed's holding at 5. going to sweep the aisles, freshen up the shed a little bit. Not looking at too much bee drop here, just a little bit of casual drop. The shed is holding quite content. Nice and calm. But it does accumulate on the broom. So I'll get all these bees swept up and taken outside. So I'm curious when it does warm up to, what are they saying, 9 degrees? Who knows if it'll actually get that warm. But if it does get that warm, then the shed will be a little bit active. I just want to see what type of bee drop that results in. There are a few hives that are bearding a bit, but they're not overly busy. You know, I like to see bearding because it tells me there's lots of bees in there, but you know, will this hive have enough food? I'm guessing because I've set them up as I typically do. But if we're gonna have a warm winter, kind of a stagger start this fall when I was moving them in, had to move back out because it was too warm. And now we're into a nice warm spell. If it's going to be a warm winter, if this is the trend for the winter, then they're going to be more active than usual. And we want them to kind of slow down, go into dormancy, so they're not using as much food. Very casual drop. That's good to see. And the babies. Now the shed's swept, not quite a wheelbarrow. That'll go outside onto the hayfield. The shed is quite content and quite impressed with that. It's like 5 degrees in here and they are sitting pretty. Nice and calm. Perfect little clusters. I'm so glad I got them out to fly during that mild spell when I was bringing them in. A little bit extra work, I think, is buying me a little bit of relief. Because look at that. Nice and full, but calm. Oh boy, maybe a little full. I don't know. It's best if I just walk out of here and quit assessing. Fuss. I'll maybe come back here on Sunday when they're predicting the warm weather just to take a look at the shed to see how it's holding. And that's about all I can do. There's nothing I can do about anything right now other than just keep the airflows through the shed. I might turn the ceiling fans on a little bit quicker just to provide some kind of a windy environment through that warm weather, just to help keep the bees in the boxes. And then when the cold air follows through that evening. Maybe I'll open the doors just to cool the shed down if I have to. And then see where we're at.